Good morning. It's been a long time. No, not a long time. Maybe like a week. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I meant to upload a few days ago, but I didn't. I'm having a snack. A couple snacks. I'll be snacking and talking, possibly. A couple things I just realized. While I am supposed to be leaning toward raw, I am set to film my vegan lasagna video at some point. So within the next 60 days, let's just say hypothetically. It's high protein because the original person that I made it for was male. He was not my partner or anything, but he was male. And boys in protein are kind of a thing. And so I made it high protein on purpose because it's vegan and I cooked it. What I then realized was that I saw another recipe for lasagna, and she made it with a bechamel. Now this was not a vegan lasagna, and I believe she might have been Italian. And I'll write down some of my notes. Like when I make the video, I'll tag the videos. Like the idea would be to reference, like for instance, it's gonna be professionally filmed by somebody else. It's not gonna be filmed in a car, obviously. So it's gonna be filmed by somebody else, and this particular baby is very savvy. So I'll pull all of them because I have them liked in my library. Anyway, it'll be better. If I don't link their videos, I'll link their YouTube profiles. I don't even know if you can do that. I'll find out. Anyway, I came upon an epiphany, right? Because as I was venturing out, because the person that I got the bechamel idea, apparently some of the original, so just like other countries, it depends on where you live and where your family came from. So if you're Italian, there's Southern Italian, there's Northern Italian, the same. So just like in the States where, you know, the accents are different depending on where you are in the States, and the way you cook is different. It varies a little bit. So wherever her family is from, or whatever research she did, they put bechamel instead of ricotta in their lasagna. So then I ventured out to find a vegan bechamel. Well, bechamel is made with flour. Since the lasagna is already high protein, I already started off weird because we're talking about cooked food. Since the lasagna is already high protein, that made me think, well, what vegan flour, most flour is vegan, but what flour has the highest protein? So it set me down the rabbit hole that I normally go in. And there's a flour called Lupin Flour. It's made with Lupini beans. Lupini is the Italian name for said bean. I looked at about, I don't know, 10, 15 videos, just rabbit holing this Lupini flour and the Lupini beans, or Lupin Flour is what they call it, and Lupini beans. Higher protein than chickpea. Sorry guys, I'm snacky. And but the bean is really hard to cook. It has a million steps. One of the things I noticed is that while processing the Lupini beans to cook them, nobody soaked them in baking soda. I soak all my legumes in baking soda. And so if I ever get my hands on any Lupini beans, I'm gonna soak them in salt and baking soda. I don't know how that's gonna affect them, but the only ones I saw, they soaked them in salt, kind of brine, not briny, but they just put a little salt in there. and then they soak the beans, and you have to soak the beans forever. Like they're really hard to cook and process. And then even after you cook them, you have to pull them out of their shells. What I've noticed is that when I soak my beans in baking soda, the shell, especially in chickpeas, the shells come off almost automatically. So I wonder if it's gonna have the same effect on these Lupini beans. But anyhow, they got Lupini flour. I think I'm gonna mix it with chickpea just in case the flavor is like wonky, only because I don't want it to ruin my lasagna. Number 2, bechamel is a white sauce. Both Lupini beans and chickpeas kind of have a tint to them. My caveat for that is, or my notes on that, not caveat, it's a vegan lasagna because I'm vegan. And so it's already not authentic. Number 2, I'm not Italian, I'm black. So it's not authentic. It's not meant to be authentic. So if this bechamel comes out perfect, because it's gonna have to be perfect to make it into my lasagna, then I'll link everything I did. But I'm gonna make the bechamel first and taste it and see if it makes it in. And I'll make notes in that video when I do it. If not, my traditional tofu ricotta is gonna go in there and it's gonna be fine. The original recipe. If it is perfect, I'm gonna put a layer, because my tofu ricotta is only one layer. And there's one block of tofu, and it only is enough for one layer in the lasagna. So the lasagna is gonna have a layer of the tofu ricotta and a layer of the bechamel. Number 2, because I noticed a lot of things. When I was going down said rabbit hole, I noticed some other things. This is my idea of adventure and suspense, by the way. One of them. One of my many. Be mindful that, so Lupini beans are super high in protein. Higher than chickpea, higher than all the others. What I noticed is that some of the recipes I was getting is from Ketos, which made me think vegans should follow Ketos. And this is what I'm thinking, guys. This is what I noted when I was looking at the keto videos, because keto is mostly high protein, which is animal products. I get it. However, the Ketos have to find, like for instance, one of the channels I watched was I Don't Sugarcoat. Her name is Samaya. Her channel is called I Don't Sugarcoat. No, I'm not gonna link it. Search I Don't Sugarcoat. She ventured in some of her videos I watched were 4 or 5 years old, so she's been on there. Ketos, they're on keto, but they have parasites just like everybody else. So whatever your body's been eating, like, they have cravings too. So they venture outside of the meat sources to find the highest protein sources outside of meat too, because they have to. So outside of meat and eggs, they venture out to find high protein sources outside of meat and eggs. Duh. So there was one, I saw her video before because she made Lupini bean hummus, and then she got ground Lupini beans, ground ones, because there's flour too, they're not the same. So ground Lupini beans are coarse, and she made them into grits. And she also noted that she breaded a animal product with the ground Lupini, like to fry an animal product, which gave me the idea of frying like tofu and tempeh and all the things to bread it in the Lupini, because it's higher protein. And I'm only noting this because even if you're raw, hypothetically, or if you're vegan, you might be, there's many kinds of vegans, but you might be dating and or have family members. It's not all about like being hooked up with somebody all the time. You might have, and I only say that because my cousin the other day, there was a funeral on November 1st. So today is November 8th. Note that. My aunt's funeral was on November 1st, and my cousin was like, we need to spend time. And I was like, okay, bet. So I'm supposed to deal with him. So if I were to cook for, like, if I were to cook for him, he knows I'm gonna make something vegan. He's of the mindset that he's not vegan, but he will try. So if he were to come over, or some of my family were, or if I had to go over to their house, it doesn't matter, and I wanted to cook for them, I would bring things that I think that they would like. Number one, that like everybody likes fried, but I would fry them something high protein. It's gonna appeal to women too, but also men. You know what I'm saying? So if you have to cook for a male partner or a male vegan or anybody or yourself, I think girls are a little more frivolous with our protein intake. I know I am. I'm not real. I know I feel better when I do eat more protein, but I'm not focused on it. You know what I'm saying? And new vegans kind of get macro focused on, they kind of like, what is the protein? So I'm just making these notes in the event that, say you are raw, but your family or partner is vegan and they are not raw. These are ideas to cook for them. So follow Keto. They was on these beans some of these videos are 4 or 5 years ago. They're not cheap, not easy to process, but it sounds like they're well worth it. So that's the idea. There was another another keto person. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he also, just type in ground lupini or Lupini Flour. That's how I found I Don't Sugarcoat, Samaya's channel. And then this other keto person that I can't remember his name, he made the grits and linked Samaya's grit. I saw Samaya's Lupini hummus before I saw his grit video. So he is a keto person. He made the ground lupini into the grits and linked Samaya's video. They're both keto. Sorry. So just be mindful. The keto, they have to find the highest protein and the lowest carb in their kingdom in order to eat outside of meat and eggs. And I thought about it. I was like, I'm gonna start. I follow, I believe she's Latino. I follow one keto Latino vegan, and she has a bunch of high protein things. But I think it would be good of us to follow keto diets and click on the ones of their videos that don't include meat. I'm just saying. It'll help you venture out a little bit. And if you've been vegan a little bit, you know everything can be veganized. Anyhow, so they gave me some really good ideas. Outside of that, when I make the lasagna, I should be back to raw. I know I'm gonna taste the sauce. I'm weird about the sauce. Everybody's weird about their sauce, right? I hope. I don't know. That's specific to me. So I have to taste the sauce, and the other stuff I just remember. But the sauce I have to taste. You have to taste the sauce. The discriminant is I'm probably, instead of me tasting the completed lasagna, the taste buds I trust are going to taste the lasagna. The person that's going to film this video for me, I trust her taste buds with my life. I know these taste buds. She's an old colleague from a job where I used to travel a whole bunch. And our taste buds are pretty similar. Well, no. I take that back. She's not vegan, number one. But I trust her palate. You'll see. You'll see. The other people that are gonna taste the lasagna, because we're kind of discriminate. I feel like plant-based Brandon, he's so honest. Like when he makes something, he'll make it, and then he'll make notes on what he can change and give. I feel like this is fair. I feel like some of the stuff that some people make, they taste it, and they say, it's so good. And sometimes I don't believe it. And then the other part is I don't know your taste buds, and so it's so good to you, which okay. So and then some of these are recipe tested before they're even filmed. So I'm not even sure why people trust them so heavy. Because sometimes they were tested before they filmed, so they made it before, and then them testing it during the video doesn't, like if somebody doesn't taste it, I assume that it's recipe tested anyway. Like you don't have to taste it for me to think if it's good or not. Like your reaction, it's just like acting. Like you can act like it's good. I just don't need you to taste it. Some people, there was a note, not a note, a comment, a note, a comment. I love being old. There was a comment that on a video that I watched, and the person didn't taste it after they made it. They just presented it and put the pretty green, parsley, cilantro, something on top. I was like, there it is. No. And then somebody put a comment below that was like, that's crazy work. You didn't even taste it. They probably made it before. And acting is acting. Tasting it on film doesn't convince me that it's good. I'm sorry. That doesn't do it for me. But maybe for some people that does. And like I said, I've only seen a couple of reviews on their own food that I thought was super honest. And according to that person's taste buds, good to them is not good to you. So you don't have to taste it. For me I just want the ideas. You don't have to taste it. So you can make stuff and not taste it, and I'm still gonna watch the video. It's not gonna offend me that you didn't taste it. Rogue popcorn. Anyway, what I've been eating. Yesterday. Let me start with yesterday. Okay, so November 1st, I was supposed to start eating cleaner. Funeral. No. Matter of fact, at the funeral, I drank a soda that had, I'm sure it had food coloring in it. I haven't drank a soda like that in years. A long time. So, it was peach something. It wasn't Vest Peach. If you know, you know. It wasn't Vest Peach. It was a different peach. It was good, but I was thirsty and I drank the peach soda. After the funeral, I did some emotional eating. My mom got me the, I don't know where she got them from. They're the Belvita Soft Bake Energy Bites. There's a whole box of them. Ate quite a few of those. I ate some Fritos. Fritos are vegan. I haven't had Fritos in years. I've made chili since I was vegan and didn't know that Fritos were vegan. It's corn. Duh. Should have looked. Anyway. They were just plain Fritos, by the way. Not the chili cheese ones. I'm just thinking about the trash I ate. I've had quite a few smoothies as per usual. But I'm thinking of the trash I ate. And again, this is all for purposes of cleanse. Like, what does my body have to deal with when I go into cleanse? Popcorn. I love popcorn. Oh my God, guys. Man, I'm hoping this bechamel works, because that is going to turn my lasagna into a masterpiece. I'm telling the truth. I hope this works. Oh my God. Anyway, let me think. Popcorn. Junior mints. Junior mints are vegan, but they're produced, for the people who have allergies, they're produced in a factory where they make other stuff that's not vegan. And they make the notes on there. So allergy wise, just be mindful. Eggs and milk were present in the factory, as the box says. Let me think what else. I'm trying to think of cooked food things that I ate that I didn't have no business eating. I don't know. Thinking. Oh, lots of peanut butter bread lately. Sourdough or pumpernickel. Pumpernickel's my favorite bread. Not this pumpernickel I bought recently. It was $6. They only give me 6 slices. I think it's more of a authentic pumpernickel. I don't know what I mean by authentic. It's not factory store-bought. It is store-bought, but it's not. They do small batch. I don't want to say I don't like it. It's not my favorite pumpernickel. Pumpernickel's my favorite bread, but this particular brand is not my favorite. And I think this particular pumpernickel has its place. I think I have some left. One moment. Did I lose the bread? I don't know where it is. I have 2 slices left. Oh, here it is. It doesn't have the original wrapper on it, but I'll show you what it looks like. I got it at Whole Foods. Looks like that. I only have 2 slices left. 3 slices, my bad. My plan is to get some hummus, chickpea hummus, and do the rest of this bread. So they're very long slices too. It was a little under $6. It wasn't quite 6. I had a loaf of sourdough before that. The first peanut butter I had, I didn't watch the label. It was salt added, and I swell up. Oh my God, I swell up. And then I had to buy more peanut butter because I had more bread left. And this time I got almond butter, no salt added. That has worked out better for me. Then it went back and forth. So I had bread left, I needed more peanut butter. And then I bought the almond butter that didn't have any salt. My apologies. Bought the almond butter that didn't have any salt. And then I run out of bread, which is why I got the pumpernickel. No like serious reviews on that whole shindig. Nothing like, oh, this is the best peanut butter ever. Nothing like that. So just bread and peanut butter. I was gonna get jelly, but decided against it. And even when I do make peanut butter and jelly, I'm heavy peanut butter, light jelly. There's no sunshine today, by the way, guys. Dark and gloomy. Anyway, so the jelly would have lasted me forever, and it's too many extra sugars and things, so I just skipped it. When I make my peanut butter and jelly, it's mostly peanut butter. And fun fact, I love peanut butter and jelly regardless, but when I first went vegan, that's what I knew I could eat like a long time ago. Not vegan, because it was anti-inflammatory minus meat, so it was basically vegan. But I didn't know at the time. When I pinched my nerve in let's see, my daughter was 15, she'll be 22 this year. Whatever that number is. It's 2025. 6 years, 7 years. So 2018, 2017, somewhere in there. I pinched my nerve. I told this story before, but apparently people don't. Go back in the videos and check it out. And that's fine. That's okay. I'm a rabbit hole person, but apparently vast majority of people are not rabbit hole people. But anyway, I pinched my nerve. I had a pinched nerve in my neck, C-spine, for those who are in medicine. So there's 7 in your cervical. And I always get that mixed up because there's a place in your girl area that's also called. Anyway, so 7, I think, I don't know what the doctor said. I don't know if he said 2 and 3 or 4 and 5. Anyway, it was hurting. It hurt bad. I had no mobility, for those who might know. I had no mobility on my left side. So everything on my right worked, nothing on my left worked. Every time I turned my neck this way, it was just all pain and anguish. And when I say pain and anguish, it wasn't like having a baby pain, but it was bad. And I went to the hospital. They did all the, I wonder if there was we call standard American diet SAD diet. So I want an acronym for American medicine that's like SAD medicine. Anyway, went to the hospital. They told me all the stuff I needed to do. I needed to go to a specialist. Oh, sorry, guys. I need to go to a specialist. They're gonna do this. I need to get injections. I need to do this. Absolutely not. I can barely take vitamins. As a 40 plus, I take gummies. I'm not even grown. Keep that in mind. So you're not gonna make me take actual medicine. If I had to, I'd be on those chalky Flintstone vitamins we had when I was a kid. But I'm not taking no medicine. I don't even take Advil when I have a headache. I don't like medicine like that. Just before I was vegan. Like, I just wasn't a medicine person. Anyway. Told me all the stuff I needed to do. Googled it. One of my mom's friends actually told me it was a pinched nerve before I went to the doctor. Anti-inflammatory minus meat is vegan. That's what it presented at the time, 6, 7 years ago, however long it was ago. 7 years ago. It wasn't Mediterranean where you could eat fish and stuff. They just said anti-inflammatory. They did turmeric, blueberries, all the things, and then that's what I did. And then that helped tremendously. That pulled down some of the inflamed, but then I went to the chiropractor and he got me lined up. And probably within the first week, I was at least at 50% mobility back. Week 2 and week 3 flew by and I was good. Anyhow. So. Sometimes what doctors say is completely valid. I'm not saying ignore your doctor, but I am saying there might be another way to get that resolved. I ain't nobody. Anyhow, so That time, when I was on anti-inflammatory, and a couple of times when I was in Bible college, and I had to do something for my daughter, and it required money. It required some money from me, and for a while, I ate peanut butter and jelly then. So I don't mind peanut butter and jelly. But it's always been heavy peanut butter, easy on the jelly. My daughter is hardly any peanut butter, heavy on the jelly. Whatever your peanut butter jelly preferences is, so be it. Let me know if you feel the need. So it's just a staple. Like, if you need to, get you a bad loaf of bread. Nowadays, it's gonna cost you. I got a almond butter, store brand, by the way. 12 ounces, so the equivalent of a can of soda. No salt, $10. That's what I said out loud with my mouth. And it didn't last me very long at all, because I love peanut butter. So, it's going to cost you. And then sourdough, just go to any grocer. They got a bakery there. If they have fresh, just get it sliced. Probably going to cost you about $6. It's worth it. Better ingredients and it's fresh. If you ain't caught it, just buy one off the shelf. I'm actually not aware of any other vegan breads besides sourdough and pumpernickel. If you know of some, also let me know. Only because other people that are newly vegan might need to know. Might be watching this video. Not sure. Anyhow. So, lots of peanut butter bread. Pumpernickel. This one's not hard. I think somebody asked me if it was hard. Look, this one's pretty pliable. Not hard, right? I think somebody thought it was like kind of stiff. I don't know how much experience that person had with pumpernickel bread. I think rye might be vegan too. Like just straight rye. Because I know they mix rye and pumpernickel sometimes. Don't quote me on that. But I know those two are definitely vegan. Sourdough and pumpernickel. I suggest you start with... I would say this is a good quality. It's just not my cup of tea. It has its place. Like, it needs to be... It was fine with the peanut butter bread, but it's going to be better with, like, hummus on it. This one is, because it's dense, savory, and the almond butter that I had was kind of, I don't want to say runny, but it was kind of thin, I guess. I don't know. And I had to pile it up pretty high. I think hummus is going to top this perfectly. So people who know how to describe things, like, way better than me. This particular bread is definitely going to be better with savory notes. Like, if you had to make it with avocado, hummus, something for breakfast, this is going to hit right with savory stuff on top, if you were going to do that. And peanut butter is savory, I get it, but it's a different kind of savory. Like, this needs heavy savory. You know how, like, avocado and hummus have these big, thick textures? I feel like this bread is more suited for that kind of savory. I just did a sub. My brain's not thinking, but anyway, I just made categories for savory. So that is this savory, whereas a traditional, like, watered down, store-bought, Americanized pumpernickel is gonna be peanut butter savory. And I stand on that, because I know this one's not my favorite. It just has a different gift. It has a different gift. So I'm gonna get some hummus to go on top of there. A big bag, like something that's like one of these brands that's like heavily I love garlic. So heavily roasted garlic something hummus. Something like that. That's what I'm gonna put on the rest of that bag. It's 3 slices to go with the hummus because it might be too much, but I'm greedy, so I'm gonna slide it on pretty thick. So even if there's some left, I'm gonna get some carrots and eat the rest of the hummus with the carrots. That's the plan for now. But this is an avocado hummus type of pumpernickel. That's what it is. Not that it's not my favorite. And it crumble, like the crumbles, the crumbs from the bread. It was so delicate, and even though it's dense, I wish I had this brand. You can buy it and see, but yeah, it's good. It's just different. So I'm gonna get some hummus to go on the rest of these 3 slices. And then get some carrots just in case I have hummus left. If not, only because carrots are sweet, you can just eat them by themselves and they're already peeled and cleaned. So it's gonna be easy. What else trash did I eat? Had some loaded fries from a local vegan place, and I'm not gonna say the name. Only because I was thinking loaded like nachos, which would be like cheese and sour cream, guac and pico and all the things. I think I meant like jalapenos. I think I meant loaded like that in my mind. And it was just cheese and sour cream, I think, and some green onions. So because I was, not that they were bad, but I was disappointed. So I don't want you to be like, oh, no, go. Just ask questions. Like, I ordered online and didn't list any ingredients. You're welcome to call the store or call this brick and mortar. So just call them and see what loaded means for them, because it wasn't on the menu online. What else have I been eating? I think that might have been before the funeral. That might have been Halloween. Somewhere around that Halloween time. So right before the funeral. What else trash did I eat? You know what I should do? I should review my, because you got to use your card to buy everything. So I'll know, like, I think I ate some chips. I told you about the Fritos, but I got the Fritos from my mom's house. The Belvitas I got from my mom's house. I mean, it's been, again, everybody's vegan dirty is different. So I know some are going, that's not too bad. You know, potatoes, real potatoes with vegan cheese and vegan sour cream. Like, everybody's dirty is different, right? No, it wasn't a bunch of vegan processed meat, but at the same time, it's dirty for me. It's dirty. Dirty. So, after I get over this emotional eating hump, instead of me waiting till my brain is ready, I'm gonna strap down. I need to set a date. Let me see. One moment, please. Okay, I thought it was gonna show me the calendar on my screen in the phone, but it won't. Today's Saturday. I can count. I start a new job next week. Oh. Next Friday, I believe. How about, because Friday is orientation. So how about the Friday, I think that Friday is November the 14th. So that Monday would be I'm kind of counting. I kind of went into some random thoughts. Okay. Monday, I think that's like the 17th or something. That's when I should be strapped in. That's the date we're setting. And I might start before then, but I know I gotta lock in at that point. I only said that because I've had some banking issues lately. And so sometimes when you're eating clean, it's just a little bit more expensive. And I've been working more, but the banking issues have greatly affected my ability to get some things done. So here we are. Yeah. Anyway. I was gonna go get ice cream last night and I did not. I was mature and responsible, or too tired. I'm gonna go with the latter. I was too tired. It had been a long day. I had been at the bank for hours the day before, or yesterday, and then I had to go back to work. And I was at work that morning, so I was tired. So I didn't go get ice cream last night. Let me think. Shout out to Sweet Emotion. So yummy. So that's the plan, guys. November 17, which is what I think is a Monday. 15, 16, yeah, 17. I should at least be raw or clean. I'm sorry, raw or juice. Leaning heavy on the juice. And I realized the other day I was at work and they had some cold pressed juice that was going to expire. And it was clean green, it wasn't even sweet green. So I got one, gratefully. And most of the green juices are diluted. I didn't notice that until I started juicing at home. But when I drank that green juice, my body was like, yes, God. And I didn't expect that because it was clean green. It wasn't sweet green like Nike or some of the green juices that have like, you know, green apples or Honeycrisp or, you know, bananas. It wasn't sweet. It was clean. It was just clean green, a little diluted. And my body was so happy. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's time to lock in. So, apart from what your brain says, and I think I will do that in the future, test what your body is saying. Because my body was like, yes, ma'am. So happy. I could feel it in my innards. My innards was like, oh my God. So, and even yesterday, because I've only told you about the trash, like even yesterday, I got it said it was sweet, but it wasn't. It was green, but it had sweet mixers in there, so I think they even said pineapple was in there. You could barely taste it. It was clean green, in my opinion. My body was pretty happy about that. So I was like, it's time to lock in. It's time, I suppose. Which brings me to the new revelation of me, because in the future, even if my brain is not locked in, I'll just test it, because your body will tell the truth. And my body was like, oh my God, I've missed you so much. I was like, oh, okay. So my body is definitely ready, but my brain is like, eh. By Annie's funeral, I want to talk about that. It was a whole blast. I missed the first part. I was running late. probably for the best. I don't know. Anyhow, the after party of it all, it was perfect. In my very humble opinion, I believe it is exactly what she would have wanted. It was family. Everybody had a plate. Everybody was talking, laughing, smiling, dancing. It was perfect. It was perfect. I was like, dang, she would have been like, this is perfect. But I did miss the service part of it. It was like from 3 to 8, so it was 5 hours. There was nothing vegan there, so I didn't eat any food, but I did eat the food coloring peach. I did drink the food coloring peach soda. And I'm gonna miss her quite a bit. She was cool as a fan. Oh, ha. Well, much cooler. Now I'm thinking about it. Depending on the temperature, that's not very cool. Anyhow. She's definitely one of my favorite humans. And I'm gonna miss her a whole lot. November 1st is also my cousin's birthday. So it's kind of nice that it was so party and such a sad event afterward, because, well, I don't want to say party. Kind of. But, so the fun, get a plate, sit down somewhere, because some of the people there, especially my male cousins, because I am Gen X and that's just the way we are. Well, some of us are still relatively traditional in some respects, and not in all the respects. I was like, hey, you want me to make you a plate? And he's like, no, I got it. So that worked out. But that was the one that reached out and was like, hey, we need to spend some time. And I was like, you bet. So I'm sad that my little change didn't come through. My little few dollars, because it is his birthday and I wanted to pick him up. This is his birthday month. It is also my birthday month. My birthday's at the end of this month. I'm a Sag. His birthday is November 1st. He's a Scorpio. But we are relatively close, and it kind of sucks that it's gonna have to wait for a little bit until I can go harass him and see what's on his brain, because it usually means he needs to talk about something, or just wants, good company. So at any rate, I am going to get with him. 3 servings. There's not 3 servings in here. There is 3 servings. According to this box, I just ate 3.5 servings of Junior Mints. 12. At the theater up north in Kansas City at Alpha Armor, they have vegan popcorn, but they have Junior Mints, and they have Junior Mints in the refrigerator. They're cold. Oh, so good. Gonna miss that. Anyway, only because I know I plan to see a few movies, and I'm probably not going to get any Junior Mints. I'm trying to calm down, especially since my body was so happy with it. I was so happy. I could just feel it. It was like next level. Like my body was like, absolutely. It doesn't say absolutely not to the other stuff. It's just kind of like, meh. But when I drank the juice the last couple of days, it was like, yes. So I will return. And budget-wise, I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'll get it figured out. Like I always do. Peanut butter bread. Lots and lots of peanut butter bread. It was so good. It was so much peanut butter on there. Maybe just heavy peanut butter. If you're heavy peanut butter, let me know. I don't know. I think I discussed all the things. Y'all saw the trash I ate today. That'll probably be more than likely. These 3 slices of this bread plus hummus, that's gonna lean on me a little bit, because when I ate the peanut butter bread yesterday on this bread, I was full for hours. Oh my gosh. And for some reason, my body is like the peanut butter bread days, because those are the most recent last few days. It feels like my body, well, I worked a lot. So one of my jobs, I walk a lot. Like there's a lot of walking, lots of steps up all around the store, lots of steps all around the store. So I just felt like I was burning a lot, and I would be so hungry, and I'd be like, I just ate bread. So coming from the raw in your brain, because with raw, you just hungry all the time, like you ate Chinese food. I'm hungry all the time because I'm greedy, but so I was greedy before I was raw, but I feel like I was, like with raw, I'm just constantly eating. And so I thought these slices was gonna sit well and kind of keep me satiated for a while. And it would keep me for longer than raw, I'd say. Raw is just like, you know, after eating a half a watermelon in about an hour, I'm looking for something else to eat. Not half. It takes me all day to eat a whole watermelon. Yeah, it takes me about 24. So, but I'm nibbling watermelon all day long, lots and lots of it, like a big watermelon, you know, substantial. So it takes me about a day to eat a watermelon, but I'm nibbling all day long, just as much watermelon as I want. And so I feel like I said, it's a good time, because about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, 5 hours sometimes. And then I'm like, oh, and it's not like, oh, I could use a snack. It's like my stomach is touching my back. I don't know if it's because I walk a lot at work. Could be a combination of, you know, the walking, the fact that I'm greedy, or maybe it burns differently. Who knows? Like the sourdough starter. It's a sourdough starter in pumpernickel as well. I don't know if you... It's on my bucket list to make homemade bread, so I do know a little bit about bread. Pumpernickel has a sourdough starter, so maybe that burns differently. Maybe it feeds gut bacteria. I know sourdough does, but I don't know why I'm so hungry after eating that much bread. I just feel like I should be full for longer. Maybe my expectation is too high. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it has nothing to do with the makeup of the bread, or maybe I'm just walking a lot, and maybe if I was sitting still, I wouldn't burn it as fast. I don't know. Today I don't work. I need this day off. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can pick up some hours. I'm not. I'm not. Yesterday was a long day. God bless everybody involved, man. God bless everyone. And I'm not, I'm just not an angry person. I'm super stoic. I only say that because I know that somebody else in the same situation would have been furious. So here's the short version of it. I want to give the short version of it. The bank closed my account and send my money back to the employers, basically, or something like that. Well, I'll give you the closed version. And then, so the customer service team didn't know what was going to happen with the check, whether they were, you know, I called and I was like, so what's going to happen? They was like, oh, we'll just send you a check, which is fine. No big deal. So then I was like, oh, okay. So my employer said they didn't get it back, so they don't have it back. So then another, because I have 2 jobs currently, starting my 3rd on the 14th. So the other employer deposited the check, and when I called customer service, they was like, well, do you want to close? And I was like, no, not necessarily. I didn't request that it be closed. And And so they was like, oh, okay, well, let's do X, Y, and Z. So they basically made it seem like they were going to reopen the account and post the money to the account. That's what it made it seem like they were going to do. They posted the second employer's check, and it reflected a positive balance, and all the things. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so then the account was open, because the first employer, sorry about that. The first employer, that check came last week, and the second employer, that check came the week after. So they're opposite payroll sessions. So when I called was a week later. Apparently I'm slow. I think most people would have been on the phone same day. But a week later, when the second employer posted, I was like, hey, what's going on with the first check? What should I expect? And that's what he was like. Well, did you want your account closed? And I was like, no. So he was like, well, let me see if we can reopen it. So it looked like it was open. The first check, I think, was already sent from the first employer. The second employer, that check posted. And then I called the customer service people, and they're like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, what about my debit card? Is my debit card okay? They was like, no, when they closed it the first time, they closed out the card, so you have to get a new card reissued. Just go to said branch, they'll reprint you a new debit card, and all will be well. Right? Just normal. So I was like, oh, okay. So I had a little time in between my shifts yesterday, so I went to the bank to get said debit card reposted or remade. And the second employer's check was posted to the account. It was open and the money was sitting there. And so I went to the bank and got the debit card printed. And then the lady that was helping me, she activated said card. And then I went to Cash App my daughter. I told my baby to send me $1.11, and she sent me $20. God bless the little kid. Anyhow, I didn't mean for her to send me that much money. I was only short $1.11. I don't know what her deal was, but anyway, so I went to Cash App my daughter to give her money back after she activated my card, and it declined. It wouldn't take it on anything. And then I went to PayPal or Cash App, both of them, just to make sure like it wasn't one app versus the other. So neither one of them worked. So I went back into the bank and I said, oh, should I wait 15 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour for everything to be activated? And she was like, no, that's not the way it should be. So she got on the phone and was on hold for a good long while. There were not according to her, there were not a lot of notes on my account. I don't know if that's traditional to close and or reopen accounts with no notes and all the things. But anyway, so she was like, there's no notes, so they're trying to find out what's going on. And she was on the phone for a good little while trying to figure it out. And then finally she was like, no, they're not going to reopen it after all. And you have to wait for said cashier's check to come in the mail and all the things and all this stuff here. So I was like, oh, okay. So went through that whole thing yesterday. Was late for my second shift. And so those monies are tied up until the cashier's checks come when they're supposed to come. I don't know. God bless them all. I don't know. So yeah, and so the distance from my job to the bank, because this all could have been prevented if they just told me that they weren't gonna reopen the account, because the account looked like it was reopened. So if they could have just let me know that it wasn't gonna be reopened, like a phone call or something. Only because I got a phone call from the branch in Lee Summit, asking me questions and letting me know that the account would be reopened. So that same phone call could have been made. And so I was supposed to pick up the debit card the following morning, but I was running late and I had to go straight to work. So then I picked it up between the 2 shifts. And then when I got there, they was like, "Oh, the debit card maker doesn't even work." So that trip would have been blank if the repair person hadn't showed up the exact same time I did. So he had it fixed and it was all ready to go. But nobody called me to let me know. She called me after the fact. I drove all the way, and it's not a long drive. It's like a half hour. But I drove all the way from the west side of the city to basically pretty good far ways east of the city. So from for locals, especially if you're watching my channel, that's from the Plaza area all the way to almost Blue Springs. So it's a good little drive. So it's not around the corner. But so yeah, a little heads up, and like, no, we're not gonna open an account. That would have been nice. Or because I would have drove there that morning thinking that my card was gonna be made and the debit card machine didn't even work. So, and I don't want to say the name of the bank because this information might be specific to me. I know I love people who love to trash the businesses, right? And you got bad treatment and all the other things, but bad treatment is sometimes like just a one-off. It's not always it's not always the long and short of the story. Like, if a lot of people say it's trash, then it probably is. And the vast majority say, especially for people who are like cold and excessively bitter, like that person might be having a really bad day, you know. It might not be the establishment. So that's why I'm not disclosing any specific bank information, because they might treat you very well and your financial situation is probably a lot different than mine. So just keep that in mind. Like, you don't want to know who bank is. Whose bank? Which bank? No. They might be good to you. They might. Yeah. The longer your zeros, the better the bank is to you. So you're not gonna experience the same thing I did. That's my hope, is that this is not repetitive. That's what we hope. Hopefully this is not the norm. Hopefully this is just a one-off. So I have to wait. Meanwhile, there are a lot of things pending. It's not a lot of money, guys. It's not a lot of money. But a lot of things are pending bill-wise in that regard. So I hope this gets better. Oh, Jesus. Anyway. But yeah, it's not a ton of money. And I know that's relative. It might be a lot of money for some, but it's not a lot of money tied up. I would say between the two, it's probably only about $600, I guess. That's not a lot. So so this is a 2-week period, by the way. So it's 2 weeks of me not having any money, going into week 3. And some of it's because of my negligence. Like, you have to keep in mind that Thursday they closed the account before the Friday when the employer was supposed to post. So they closed it the day before the employer was supposed to post. And then I think I called like maybe Monday, Tuesday the following week, because I worked all weekend. I was tired. And then, so I've been dealing with this from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. So 2 separate checks have not made it to me for whatever reason. And so this is going into week 3, because I'll be paid again from said employer next week. So So I'm hoping this check makes it. That is not funny, but it kind of is. But yeah, I know another person, another personality type would be furious. They'd be like, oh my God. Because there's a level of, there's my own negligence, obviously. But then there's, there's other people involved in this process besides myself. And so, just pile that on top of it. So, it's gloomy today. I'm gonna try to run head first into some hummus, something savory with too much garlic in it. I don't give anyone kisses, so I'm good. Take a nap and probably read. I've been reading a little bit more lately. Well, last couple of days. I've been in the Proverbs. If you want to follow along, if that's your thing, Proverbs. I think I'm on Proverbs 10. Side note, Proverbs 3, I think it's 4 and 5. Oh, is that a number sequence? That's so cool. I would reach back and grab my Bible real quick, but this video is already at over an hour long, so we're not doing it. Anyway, the whole don't lean to your own understanding piece, I think that's 4 through 6, Proverbs 3, 4 through 6. I only say that. I should know it by heart. I should know exactly what it is because it's my grandmother's favorite, one of her favorite. Just realized how important that is right now. But that's one of her favorites, and I was gonna get a tattoo. Fun fact, I have 0 tattoos. I don't have one. I was supposed to get my first one with my daughter. She ruined it. She got her first one by herself. She could not wait to rebel. I'm glad she didn't drag me in on that. Her dad would have been furious, but we were gonna get our first tattoo together, and then she went by herself and got her tattoo, and I was like, you kind of broke it up. We're broken up about that. So we were supposed to get, she couldn't wait. It's supposed to be after her 18th birthday. And so that was one of the tattoos that we were considering, to getting my grandmother's favorite scripture tattooed somewhere. So I have 0 tattoos. 0. That's it. I'm gonna stop running my mouth. It's a week's worth of mouth running. All the trash I ate. Yeah. So yeah, today, that's today's menu. I don't foresee myself eating too much more, only because after I get the carrots and hummus, right? And I won't be working today, so my body won't, I feel like I won't need as many things to eat, as many calories to burn. So I'm gonna run into some hummus somewhere. Oh, how am I surviving with no money? Not very well. My daughter, as I told you, she sent me some money the other day to get more bread for the peanut butter I had left over. So my baby shot me. She's like, Mom, you okay? So she shot me some money. And then my best friend, he lives in Colorado. He is literally just my best friend. Platonic friends, asexual. Thank you. We used to be in cahoots, in a respect, like partners, but it's just not, it's one of those things where you just know it's not, you know that that's not your husband. You just know. So, trust me, I know. Great guy. He's somebody else's husband. If you are looking for a great guy and you have a different temperament than mine, because he is a good dude. He's a good dude. Just not for me. That's not my husband. So, well, 6-figure. He's not tall, but he is 6-figure. He's well-to-do. He works hard. He's hilarious. He's very intelligent. Manages his money well. Good credit score. All the things. But he's not my husband. So, if you're into that kind of thing, he's probably about 5'6", I guess. He's white. I don't know if that matters. If you're watching my channel and you're, I feel like I don't know what kind of personality type, but I feel like a woman that's like an A-type personality, you know, women that are well regimented, and those women tend to be great communicators and super organized and all the things. I feel like he would be best suited for one of those types of women. I'm a gypsy. I can be organized. I can be a good communicator if I muster it up. I'm looking for a more, not that anybody's into me like that, but I think I'm looking for a more intuitive. If there's women that like can communicate their needs very well, he will do well in that environment. I'm looking for somebody who's paying attention, has discernment, and his intuition is top tier. This one, you have to communicate with him. There's lots of communication. You have to communicate with him. And he's one of those people who has an immaculate memory, but even with that memory, he retains the information but doesn't know how to apply the information. Like, oh, I'm one of those calculated people, I guess. Whereas I'm paying so close attention that I know that, like, I will go through a few moon cycles, right? So I know especially if you're my partner, I'm gonna know, okay, the last 3 full moons, he requested X, Y, and Z. Data collection, what is that? What is I don't know what that is. But I'm one of those people who retains all the details surrounding what's going on. And so sometimes, so the 4th moon cycle, or whatever that looks like timeline wise, because it also depends on like all the variables, how much time you spend together and all the things, and how well the other person communicates and this kind of thing. So, like for instance, every full moon, I know, we just had a full moon, by the way. Every full moon, I expect to get text messages from at least 4 people. Every full moon, these 4 people always text me. They don't realize that they text me every full moon. But I do, right? So, and they're not in my space at all, but I can literally count down. Or if I'm missing the moon, like if I'm not paying attention, but I see that text message come through, then I know it's a full moon. That's how consistent they are. Not realizing that that's really the only time they text me consistently. But more times than not, I can count down, almost count down. So I'm one of those people who pays attention to the actual circumstances surrounding that interaction. And so, because people are pattern people, I'm a pattern. Everybody is, for the most part, give or take, with a few of us who carry wild hairs. Because I'll freestyle. But anyway, so, but you have to be paying that much attention. Like, you have to, not be so invested in social media and all the things. And so he's one of those, he will collect the data, but doesn't know when or why that data applies. And I will collect the data, and by the time 4, 5, 6 cycles run through, I can almost know what you're thinking. I can almost know what you want to eat. I can almost know what you want to wear, because people are pattern people for the most part, with a few variables. But the patterns are pretty well mapped out, like based on who you are and the environment and all the variables. But after a while, it's not rocket science, not too much. So he's one of those people that collects the data, And he could have went through the same moon cycle with you several times and doesn't know when to apply. So whatever your needs are, you would have to be able to verbally articulate those things. Vast majority of the time. He's not one of those people that can say, you know what, around the same time last month. Because women are definitely bad at people just because we have our cycles. So he'll be like, now he'll remember that if you're a woman and you have your cycle, he'll remember the snacks. There are some men that are paying so close attention that they can see some things in their partners and be like, I think her cycle's coming. He's not one of those people that's paying you that much attention. I need the one that knows, that can hear certain things after a while and be like, yeah, her cycle's coming, or something's up. But he's not one to discern those details. He'll know what to get you because he has had to buy the same thing several times, but he won't know. He's not paying that much attention. You can basically, you could be drowning, and if you don't say help, he's not on the way. So you have to be able to articulate. Like, there are women who are very good at, I've met a few, I know a few. There are women that are very, very good at articulating their needs, but you could be splashing around in the water drowning and he's not on the way until you say help. He's not coming. So he's just not. And that's I think that's pretty standard. That's pretty normal. It's just that that's not for me specifically. Not that anybody's feeling me like that, but that's not for me specifically. If you don't, I don't know. I don't need all the, I don't want to have to announce everything. I can't. Not only because you don't have to. And God didn't give certain gifts to just women. I know they say there are very few men that actually have discernment. I feel like in the earth there aren't very many. However, I'm looking for the ones that do. So that unicorn, and by all means, that unicorn might not even be into me. So I'm not. That's what it is. That's what it is. At any rate, an hour and 17 minutes later. Y'all have a good day. To my 5 subscribers, thank you for hanging in there with me. To the ones who actually review my very long videos, thank you for that too. That's it. Have a good one. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it alone. All right. Have a good one. Bye.